For many years, Cedric, the wise chief advisor to King Arthur, arrived at the royal chambers just as the first light of dawn touched the castle spires. Each morning, after bowing respectfully, he would stand before the king and declare,
"Rise with the dawn, and prosperity shall find you."
King Arthur valued Cedric's counsel, but one night a mischievous thought struck him. He summoned his most trusted guards.
"Awake before the midnight hour,
He commanded them,
and wait in the shadowed woods along Cedric's path to the castle. Before the first hint of dawn, when he approaches, surround him. Strip him of his cloak and tunic. Let no escape route remain. I wish to see how steadfast he remains to his own creed."
The guards obeyed. Deep in the cold, dark woods before dawn, they sprang upon the unsuspecting Cedric as he walked his familiar path. Strong hands seized him. Before he could protest or flee, his fine advisor's robes were torn from his shoulders. The guards vanished into the gloom as swiftly as they had appeared, leaving Cedric shivering in the undergrowth. Finding no path forward unobserved and no chance to reclaim his garments, Cedric realized his predicament. Appearing naked before the king was unthinkable, a breach of all decorum and respect. With quiet dignity, he turned and made his way back through the silent, sleeping town to his own home. There he dressed himself anew in fresh robes. Only then, as the sun climbed higher in the sky, casting long, late-morning shadows, did Cedric finally present himself at the king's audience chamber, his usual dawn arrival long past. King Arthur, seated upon his throne, couldn't contain a broad, triumphant smile.
"Ah, Cedric,"
he boomed, his voice echoing slightly.
"what delayed you this fine morning? Does not your own counsel ring daily in these halls? Rise with the dawn, and prosperity shall find you. Surely you, of all people, heed your own wisdom."
Cedric met the king's gaze calmly, his composure unbroken.
"Your Majesty,"
He replied, his voice steady.
"prosperity did indeed find some early risers today. The robbers who waylaid me prospered greatly, for they rose even earlier than I. They claimed my garments as their prize. Had I risen earlier still and reached the safety of your Majesty's court before they stirred, then I would have been the prosperous one, safely beyond their reach. The dawn's gift depends greatly on who else walks the path before the light."
A profound silence fell over the chamber. King Arthur's smile faded, replaced by a look of deep contemplation. Cedric's simple words had unveiled a deeper truth. Wisdom is not merely in the saying, but in understanding the world in which it is applied. All right, folks, let's decode this tale. Welcome back to DecodeTales, where we peel back the layers of stories to find the wisdom hidden within. Today's story, The King's Cruel Test, isn't just a clever little fable. It packs a punch about how we understand and apply advice in the real world. First, we see Cedric's famous maxim, "Rise with the dawn, and prosperity shall find you." On the surface, it's classic self-help advice, right? Be proactive, get a head start, seize the day. King Arthur, probably hearing it every single morning, decides to test its absolute truth. His little prank, having Cedric ambushed by guards disguised effectively as robbers, is the setup. He wants to prove that simply rising early isn't always a magic ticket to success, and Cedric's response is where the real gold is. He doesn't deny the value of rising early. Instead, he brilliantly reframes it. "The robbers who waylaid me prospered greatly, for they rose even earlier than I." Boom. Here's the first big lesson. Context is king, pun intended. Any piece of wisdom, no matter how sound, exists within a complex world. Success isn't just about your actions. It's also about the actions of others, the environment, and a bit of plain luck. Rising early might give you an advantage, but if someone with ill intent is up even earlier plotting against you, your advantage vanishes. It forces us to think beyond simple formulas. Secondly, Cedric highlights the difference between literal and applied wisdom. His saying is a general principle promoting diligence and initiative. King Arthur took it literally. Just wake up early, and good things happen. Cedric, faced with the reality of the ambush, shows its intended application. Rising early is meant to give you the opportunity for prosperity, to put you in a position to avoid pitfalls, like robbers, and reach safety or opportunity, like the king's court, before trouble arises. The wisdom is in the strategic positioning it affords, not just the act itself. Thirdly, there's a subtle point about humility in leadership. King Arthur set up the test to challenge, maybe even embarrass, his advisor. But Cedric's calm, logical response doesn't attack the king. It simply illuminates the flaw in a literal interpretation. Arthur's thoughtful silence afterwards shows a good leader can recognize a deeper truth, even when it comes from being bested in a test he devised. It's a lesson for anyone in authority. Be open to having your assumptions challenged thoughtfully. So, what does this mean for us on DecodeTales? It's incredibly relevant today. We're bombarded with quick fix advice and rigid life hacks. Do X and you will get Y. This story reminds us to be critical thinkers. Before blindly following any maxim, big or small, we need to ask, what's the context? Who else is playing this game? What is the actual principle behind the advice? It encourages adaptability and situational awareness over rigid dogma. True wisdom lies in understanding the why and the when, not just the what. Here at DecodeTales, we love uncovering these timeless insights. If this story made you think, gave you a new perspective, or even just entertained you, let us know in the comments below. What's a piece of common advice you've seen challenged by real life? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed the story and the decode, and subscribe to DecodeTales for more journeys into the heart of wisdom tales. Hit that bell so you never miss uncovering the next hidden lesson with us. Thanks for joining us, and keep decoding.